we're going to have the founder and director of Alliance for AI. It's going to be Mr. Alex Tsado.
Yes, all right. That was very exciting, but this is actually, I'm going to say welcome to class, okay? It's classroom. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me on this talk today. I'm going to start off by doing a little introduction of myself, and then telling you why we're here today talking about AI careers. So my end, Alexander Tsado, like he said, born and raised in Nigeria, played a little bit of a role in the world of AI at NVIDIA, helped bring AI to the world through cloud, as our teams have been working really hard from 2016 to help push AI across the world on the cloud so people can rent GPUs and build their dreams, literally. From 2020, did leave NVIDIA and start working on a program called Ahura AI. That was about helping equip the workforce on how to prepare for the world of AI, which is something that has been talked about on this stage over the last day or two. And then finally, was working on Alliance for AI, which is Alliance for Africa's Intelligence, to help prepare the workforce in Africa and the AI ecosystem over there so that Africa is not left behind. Now, in this world of AI, AI can be very, very exciting. Just last year, I was on, 12 months ago, I was on a stage across the room, the center stage, and I asked the audience to pull out their phones and go to gamma.app and type in the website of their dreams and just see it come to life, right? Before that point, you would procrastinate for 3 to 6 months trying to figure out the content for your website or figure out who you're going to hire to pull it together. But with Gamma, you just type it in and you have that website ready to go. In fact, this presentation was made with Gamma, for those who know Gamma in the room. Who knows Gamma? I think a couple of people here should know Gamma. I'm surprised if you don't. Okay, you use Gamma, that's great. Today, I would, if I was still in the mood of telling you to pull out your phones, but you all have it here, I would ask you to pull out your phone and type in Replit, R-E-P-L-I-T, and type in the application of your dreams. It's really crazy what happens when you do that. Before Replit and several other applications that do similar things, you would have to get 3 engineers and pay them, call it $200,000 for 3 months to build an application of quite some considerable complexity. But now, just yesterday, I paid $200 on Replit. I typed in for it to work on a pretty notorious application I'm working on. It's for the Nigerian government. I'm trying to make it more transparent on how much they spend on different projects. I literally put it on Replit and connected it to a data source, and now I have a website that shows the 60,000 projects, enough for you to see which ones are successful versus not. But I'll stop talking about that so I don't get into trouble. But yes, that happened in 45 minutes, as against me waiting 6 months or spending $200,000 on that. These are the kind of things that are starting to happen with AI. And for tomorrow, who knows what's going to happen? Like, what capabilities are emerging? Things are changing really quickly, and they're exciting. But at the same time, AI can be a bit worrying. And I can imagine a few of you are worried in the room. What does it say on the slide? It says, there's a worrying new grad employment trend. Companies are replacing entry-level positions at an alarming rate, and this is threatening the entire talent pipeline. I was speaking with several career placement companies we work with, and they've shared anecdotes of observing that HR, the leads of people who lead in hiring for new grad programs, are slowly losing their own jobs. People who lead in hiring for outsourced workers from the global south, from Mexico, from parts of Africa, they're slowly getting fired or let go from their big tech companies in the US. Hiring patterns are changing. They're changing very, very quickly, driving unemployment rates for new graduates from 2% to higher than 5%. Now, there is a school of thought where you believe that this might not sustain, and who knows what's going to happen, right? I've heard people say things like, companies might be rushing to go to these AI tools too quickly, before the tools are ready. And so because of that, they will fail, and then you go back to the humans, right? Just like, I forget the name of the company now. They fired all their workers so they could switch to AI agents for customer service, but now they're starting to hire some of the humans back. And I think similar things have happened in DC, where some people have been fired, brought back to the office. I don't know what companies happened, but yeah, we're seeing things like those happen. So that could be the case, but it could also be the case that this trend continues and unemployment rates rise to more than 20%. Now, these are huge numbers that the US, Americans are not used to. If you want to learn how to deal with that, find the Nigerians in the room. We know how to deal with high unemployment, and it's not an easy thing. But this is something that is potentially, that is happening before our eyes, and they're really, really important to take pretty seriously. On my side, in fact, another thing I started to look at is a question, and I want you all to think about. It's that if we are not hiring people in the entry level anymore because AI can do all those jobs, what happens in 5 years or in 10 years? Like what happens to those people who don't get hired now? Who then grows into the middle level or the senior level? It breaks my brain. I actually don't understand how to think about it, and maybe someone here can catch me afterwards and we'll talk about it. And so I decided to go on a personal mission in 2020 to try to figure this out. I left my senior position at NVIDIA and started to work in a number of organizations to try to work on this problem. And I will share with you 2 or 3 of the solutions that we came up with. The first one is Ahura AI, Ahura.ai application that we put together. I'll warn you, I'm not a designer, I'm an engineer, so it's not a very cool UI, but it does work, right? The big thing for us was, can you build an AI learning buddy that would be there with you when you're learning? It will help you observe the things you don't like while you learn and help you improve your learning skills. Beyond that, it will help you also track your learning efforts so that you can understand where you're spending your time and where you might need to spend more time. And we thought that was all it was going to do, but later on, we found people who use it were able to share their learning journeys with their managers, with their executives, and it started to actually safeguard their jobs, because when it came to time for people to get let go, you would find that executives would look at the chart on Ahura AI to see who is actually spending time learning, and those people would be off the naughty list. So it was actually pretty interesting what was happening with that. So that's Ahura AI. The second one is, if I get this here, is a book. It's called AI Empowered. We decided to, after 2 years of engaging the people in the US, in Zimbabwe, at Davos, in Switzerland, we learned that really the world is just going to keep changing really quickly. And it was important to build what we're calling an AI explorer mindset. You need to be an AI explorer, someone who's always thinking about the future. And I think I have a slide here that teaches you how to do that. Well, I'll get to that slide, but the common barriers we've been seeing keep people from learning how to use AI tools. First one is perception of time. I was actually talking to a couple of people yesterday, and what I got was, I'm too busy. I have so much work to do. I can't do that right now. I'm just going to have someone else on my team learn how to do it. And I really urge you, I call on you, give it the time it needs, because it might get too late. Companies are letting go of people who believed they were completely safe. So please become an AI explorer. The second one is there's fears of how long it takes to learn how to use these tools. Before now, who do I pick on? I pick up an Adobe Photoshop. I don't know which of you is an expert or Adobe or try to be, but it could take you 3 months or 6 months to go through a course that you paid for to try to learn how to use some Adobe tools. But AI tools are different. They're built different. They're conversational. Now you just speak to the chatbot, and it could do super complex tasks, just like going to Palantir across the room and asking it to help you organize the logistics needed for routing planes to different parts of the world. You just have to chat with the thing, and it'll help you set that up, right? You don't have to learn for 6 months. So it's really, really easy. Just pick up your phone and learn. And the last one is ethical concerns. where you find people, especially in the education industry, thinking about, be worried about not wanting to be seen as a cheater and as someone who's cheating at their job. So that's something that folks are grappling with, and it's backed by research by McKinsey, Microsoft, and my grandmother. She researches this topic as well. So I think it's something we should believe. And so everyone can be an AI explorer. We've tried to teach this concept across the world, from Davos to San Jose State University in Puerto Rico. But my favorite, I think, is where is it? It's Zimbabwe. If you can read some of the comments on the wall, we were able to, weren't able to travel to Zimbabwe, but we were able to work with them on Zoom. We worked with this, they were farmers, female farmers, 80 female farmers. We worked with them to learn how to use Meta AI on their WhatsApps to ask questions. And it was crazy. Questions that they couldn't get access to or answers to for months, now they could just do it on their phone. So they said things like, hello, Ahura, wow, I'm finding AI so helpful and on point for my business. My customers ask so many questions about crop management. The tools are on point and they're great. The other one is talking about your kindness and resilience. I guess we did a good job. So it's like, even farmers were able to learn how to use these tools. So why can't you, right? Don't think about your lack of technical skills. You can do it. You can learn how to use them. And so the previous slide I skipped over is talking about our guide to be an AI explorer. The first thing is you should just be curious questioning. Put time on your calendar, 30 minutes in a week, to just look up tools that are new to your space or tools that are new to a space you're trying to get into. That's almost enough to get you prepared. Pick up the playful exploration, I say, of kids. Like, there's lack of fear of making mistakes, and they just go in and test. Definitely don't use sensitive data from your workplace when you're testing, but pick that up. It's pretty useful. Community sharing is big. Finding communities where people share about what they're doing, so you don't have to do all the testing yourself. You learn from other people as well. And then finally, analyzing things, iterating and growing from there. Because what you will find is many of the tools have mistakes, they have errors. But that doesn't mean you should stop using them. You should come back every month or every other month to see how they've improved, or even suggest and make suggestions to help them out, as against just shut down because you found something that didn't work. That's what we found is really good. And so as I come close to the end here, I have homework for you, right? I said I was going to treat this like school. And so this is basically summarizing most of the things I've said today, where the first one is, it's quite important to track your journey as you traverse the world of AI exploration. Use tools like Ahura AI to track what you're learning day to day, week to week, and be able to share that with your team, share that with your manager, with your boss, and use that to safeguard your job. The second is about strengthening your AI Explorer muscles. Go get the AI Empowered book, AI Empowered book. It's free on Amazon. It's free on Kindle. So just pick it up. If you want a paper copy, then you get to pay a little bit of money, but it's a pretty useful book. And we got to see it aligns with even new frameworks that have been published on how to grow the adoption of AI across the workforce from the likes of UNESCO and others. And then finally is a new community. It's a new Alliance for AI community where we want people to go connect, share, teach others, and share what they've learned. Like if there's new tools you've found out, share about it and see what other people think about. And hopefully we can grow together and we can begin to shape our own futures and not be driven by, what does it say, the HR letter. We should be the ones who shape our career's future, and I hope we grow together from there. So that's the talk. Thank you very much, and I hope you keep growing as an AI explorer.
Thank you.